AEW is set to debut on TNT for Dynamite. The very first episode is happening October 2nd, and you guys want to know what the stage design looks like? Well, we're going to talk about it, and we got the picture to show you.
You have arrived at your destination.
Welcome back to Destination Pro Wrestling. It's your boy Ango. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Tango with Ango. DestinationPW.com has been officially relaunched. We have tons of news. If you guys have missed it, go onto the website right now. But with that being said, guys, we're talking about it. AEW on TNT. A lot of you guys want to know what the stage design looks like. A lot of you guys want to know how different this is going to be from WWE. How different is it going to be from Impact? Well, guys, we have the photo to show you. But before we show you guys the photo, a couple things. Make sure you guys click that subscribe button and ring the bell, so this way you get notified on all the content that's coming to Destination Pro Wrestling. And of course, we will be live on Wednesday night for AEW Dynamite. It's going to be an exciting time, guys. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But we got to kind of talk about the TV design, because if you guys may have missed it, the season premiere of Raw actually had a new stage design, and they went with all LED. In fact, I even joked about it on Twitter saying, hey, this looks like something Darby Allin would skateboard on, and sure as hell was I right. But now we got to talk about AEW stage design, because this is where first impressions really matter. All right, let's just throw the image on the screen. Now, as you guys can see, the image here on the screen looks very identical to what you have seen in previous events. And that right there, my friends, is one of the big issues that I have with this. Now, I'm going to talk about the pros and cons and everything you guys need to know, but if it does look familiar to you, it is because it looks like AEW is using the same stage design, and, well, it looks like they're just going to be doing the same thing that they've been doing for the last several events. Now, that's not entirely a bad thing. So the reason why AEW is probably doing this is what I'm going to assume is for financial reasons. The same reason why WWE for a while wasn't doing unique designs for their stages up until now, obviously, with Raw and SmackDown getting a refresh. But yes, this is true. AEW will be using the same set design. Obviously, I'm sure there's going to be some differences with pyro, and obviously there's going to be some differences with, colors and lighting and all that good stuff, but it is pretty much the same design. Now, AEW posted this photo to let people know that they are increasing the amount of seats, and this is really exciting because it seems like a lot of people have been let down by the fact that scalpers were trying to sell those tickets, and it looks like AEW is offering some more opportunity for people, which is a very commendable move. But we just have to address this entire situation, because honestly, having a nice stage design is important. And I don't have an issue with their stage design. I know a lot of you guys are probably looking for me to hate this, but I don't. Now, if there's one thing I dislike, obviously I would like the idea for pay-per-views to have unique stage designs, and they kind of have, right? They've implemented the poker chips, they've implemented the kiddie pools, and the trees, the palm trees and stuff like that. So you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. They've done some small things to differentiate them themselves from different events. But obviously in this case, how is that going to resolve, or how is that going to be resolved for TV? Like, what changes are they going to do? What kind of fixes will we see them implement? And that right there is truly the most important part of this conversation. In all honesty, guys, Destination Pro Wrestling is here to cover pro wrestling stuff. And you guys want the news, and you guys want it unbiased. And honestly, I wanted to hate the idea of them using the same stage design, but I would much rather have AEW become successful long term, and if they could save money from the logistics portion of everything that's involved in wrestling, I would much rather prefer them to do that. I also want to talk a little bit about something else in this video, but give me about a minute or so till we get to that, because we are going to talk a little bit about AEW and some of those logistical things that they're going through, because Cody Rhodes actually kind of touched on this during the media call today, and it kind of correlates with the stage design. But yeah, the stage design looks the same as the pay-per-views. If you guys don't like it, you guys don't like it. AEW is not going to make decisions that pleases everybody, but ultimately I feel like it is a move that they should have done. And that leads me to the finances and logistical things that AEW needs to really pay attention to. And this right here really comes down to one thing, guys, and that is money, right? I said money talks in my last video talking about CM Punk possibly going to WWE. It's all about money, whether you want to spend money or make money. Money. It's how you keep your business afloat. And Cody Rhodes kind of touched on this. He had kind of mentioned why AEW has been going from like the East Coast so far. Like if you look at the way of shows, obviously Baltimore, Washington, Chicago, Philly, like all these different areas that they are going to be performing at right now is pretty much in the eastern part of the United States. And Cody Rhodes actually mentioned that this really has to do with the logistics and cutting costs. And I think a lot of times people are looking at this move, especially with the stage design not looking that much different. You have to understand they are in the business to make money. And eventually, as they continue to do well, if they start seeing large profits, which I do think they could eventually do, then you guys will see them do these things. I think they are very logical in the stance that, hey, you have to make money and there's certain things you need to cut cost on. So obviously pyro is something that fans missed in pro wrestling. AEW decided to bring it back, but before they could even do it on television, WWE had already implemented it on last night's episode of Raw, which, it was a pretty cool thing. Whether you guys love or hate WWE, having pyro back does make a difference. It got the crowd excited. That was something that, usually crowds can be bored or whatever, and like pyro kind of woke them up. So ultimately that's a cool thing. But AEW is probably not going to have pyro for absolutely every match. They're probably going to be cutting costs on more than just travel and things like that. But obviously, as you guys know, for them to get all of these production trucks down from arena to arena, it costs a lot of money. And if you're AEW, having a plan such as moving from the East Coast down to the Midwest, going down south, and then obviously making its way to the west, I mean, that's important for AEW to do. And I think this is going to be a really good thing for AEW because honestly, I would treat it more like a tour. Like every month there's a different tour that they're doing and they're going to hit different parts. And obviously, AEW has mentioned several times they have big plans for AEW in the UK. I've seen a lot of complaints. I've seen a lot of people upset about the TV deal, but I think they're very genuine in wanting to put their product in other places. And again, it's all going to come down to money. So as much as we want them to come to Detroit, I know a lot of people want to see them in Detroit as well. I want them in Detroit. In order for things like that to happen, guys, it's going to happen, but it's going to take time. And that is something that AEW will have to do to pretty much, be successful. They need to make money. They need to save money. I'm all for it, but I am impatient. I went to Vegas, and that was the last time the west side of the United States, the western part, got to see anything AEW related. So that one show was pretty much all they had. I think AEW will succeed in UK. I think they're going to succeed in Canada. Obviously, they have the new TV deal in TSN, but a lot of this comes down to money and distribution. And they landed a huge TV deal without even having a show, which is amazing. So for me personally, I think this is going to be some good stuff for AEW. I'm most excited to see how this works for them financially because unfortunately, whether you guys are... I love the YouTube comments. I try to respond as much as possible, but this just has to be said. It doesn't matter how many comments you leave on a YouTube video saying you love AEW. If they're not making money from you being a fan, they're not going to stay in business. And that's the same that goes with WWE, MLW, AEW, NWA, Impact. It doesn't matter, guys. It really is about money. And I know as a fan, sometimes you guys don't want to hear that, but you just can't survive if you don't have it. So realistically, AEW is making the right decision by having the same stage design. They are making the right decision. Obviously the way that they're doing things logistically, the way they're traveling and moving from city to city for their television shows. Look, these are things that we just really can't avoid with AEW, but we got to hope it works out for them because that's pretty much the most important part of this industry. We need more wrestling. And speaking of more wrestling, we have been covering a lot of NWA, National Wrestling Alliance. 2 former WWE and Impact Wrestling guys had actually signed with the NWA. I don't want to talk too much about it in this video, but go ahead and slide on to destinationpw.com because, guys, that's where the news is. This is some exciting stuff. DPW, destinationpw.com. We've relaunched it. Over thousands of people have already visited the site in the first 2 days, and it's very exciting, guys. So if you guys want to be a contributor, you guys want to get paid for maybe writing for DPW, maybe you guys want to be on a video, maybe you guys want to be a podcast, let me know. And don't forget, we have relaunched the DPW Championship. We got 3 belts, 24/7 Championship, Internet Championship, and World Championship. $1 a month. It's less than a cup of coffee, depending on where you go. So just kind of keep that in mind. All right, guys, that is it for today's video. You guys saw the new stage design. This is Ango. I'll see you guys next time.